The Green Bay Packers traded away Davante Adams back in March of this offseason. This has now left them a gaping hole at the wide receiver position for the one that Davante Adams was originally have. Now the Packers need a number one wide receiver. I am joined by this guest named Holden Douglas. All right, so he's basically an NFL fan, and he's going to go ahead, give his analysis on what the Packers should do at the wide receiver position. Many people are saying that the Green Bay Packers should go ahead and take a wide receiver in the first round. Remember, the Packers have 2 first-round picks right now in their arsenal. All right, so before I say anything else, though, I want to go ahead and get you to the topic question. So here it is. Which wide receiver should the Packers take in the 2022 NFL Draft?
Um, that like to me, like it's not that big. It doesn't really matter who they honestly take, just because the Packers, I mean, they re-signed Aaron Rodgers, so they're in win now mode. And Rodgers, like, based on like his contract, like he doesn't have like a whole lot of years left. So truthfully speaking, it doesn't really matter who they pick because any prospect they get, it's not going to help them in the win now because whoever they get, they're not going to be nearly as good as Davante Adams. So I would say, truthfully, I would say what they have to do is just kind of make certain tweaks and then just fill in that terrible specials team. That's probably their biggest need. That's actually the main reason why they lost to the Niners and actually not in the Super Bowl. So I'd say bulk up that O line a little bit and then just get better special teams. And then I think that's more realistic than trying to find this receiver that's going to replace Davante Adams.
I get where you're coming from. Davante Adams, he's one of the top 5 receivers in the game of football. He's one of the best as far as I'm concerned. And whoever in this draft is probably not going to replace Davante Adams. And you are right. The Packers, they need to go ahead, fix their special teams up. But we're kind of talking about in the 2022 NFL draft. We're talking about first round pick. Packers, they got 2 of them. This is a wide receiver stacked class as far as I'm concerned. All right, there's a lot of good receivers to pick from. I think that the Green Bay Packers have got to use a wide receiver with the first round pick. They got 2 first round picks. They've got to pick a receiver with that because they don't really have a real number one receiver right now in their room. All right, who do I believe that the Green Bay Packers should select? I think that they need to go ahead and select Treylon Burks. He's a receiver from Arkansas. He's big. He's physical. 6'2", 225. He's got big hands. 9 7/8 inches. All right, and his 40 time's really good. 4.55 on the 40-yard dash. Who's my player comparison for him? I think that he's similar to A.J. Brown. He's like a faster version of A.J. Brown, and he's a physical receiver that's got speed, and he's going to be able to fill in some of what Davante Adams had for the Packers. So he's a big physical receiver, and I think he can fill in that role somewhat well. And Aaron Rodgers, he can make up somewhat for the loss of Davante Adams.
Hey, that was a great pick. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you. They just need I'd say kind of like a physical specimen a little bit, just someone who could go out, make those athletic plays, who's just gonna be right there because like obviously we know what Rodgers could do. So if you have just a pure talent receiver, then obviously I think that would work great for Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, you do have a fair point, but I know you said that the Green Bay Packers, they don't necessarily need a wide receiver, but let's just say for the sake of argument, they have to pick a wide receiver. Which receiver should the Green Bay Packers go ahead and select with the 22nd pick?
I mean, honestly, I kind of felt like you were like on the dot with that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I felt like you picked you picked the perfect guy. Like just because like Brooks, just because like he's fast, he's strong, and just like he could just make plays that I'd say like not so much like out of this world, but like it's definitely someone that like you could definitely like with his potential, like it could definitely work wonders. So there wasn't like I can't really like debate you on that one just because like I felt like you were like on money with that.
Facts, bro. Facts. Appreciate you agreeing with me. But let me also ask you this to play devil's advocate. Let's say if Treylon Burks is already gone with the 22nd pick. I don't think that's going to happen, but let's say he's going to go ahead and be gone at pick 22. Say the Packers are not eligible to pick him in this draft. which wide receiver should the Green Bay Packers go ahead and take?
Oh, I gotta. Who would they take? Like you're saying, like if they have to take a wide receiver, they don't have to take anyone else. Who would I take? That's shit. Dude. Damn, I don't even know. I'll be honest with you. Like I'm probably gonna have to I'll have to like sit down like full like analyze that like just because like that is one that like it's kind of a tough question just because like with the Packers situation that I don't know who I don't know like who you could look at and be like, oh yeah, that's definitely gonna work wonders. Because in my opinion, what I said earlier is that this team is not like the Packers, they're not like this isn't a go for broke pick. Like they're not like a lottery team. They don't need someone who's just gonna like change everything around. They just need dudes like who could just like step up and then like just really like become like quality NFL players, like because all Green Bay really needs to do is just make those like subtle tweaks. They don't need like a jump out receiver. So that to me, that's why like that's such a hard question to ask, just because like it's one of those picks that I know you said like, oh, you have to go like, oh, they have to pick a wide receiver, but I don't think they have to. Like it's just I just don't think that this is necessarily going to be like that next change. Like it's just going to be one of those picks. Like it's going to be there, but it's not necessarily going to make the team a whole lot better. It's just kind of like a fill up spot.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I can definitely see why you don't think that the Green Bay Packers necessarily need a wide receiver. But let me tell you something. Every quarterback, or at least most quarterbacks in this league in the modern NFL, need a star wide receiver to help elevate their games. The quarterback position is just too competitive these days. But yeah, I get what you're saying. The Packers, they don't necessarily have a lot of desperate needs. They just need to fix things in between the margins, quite frankly. And I'm looking at this receiver draft, and honestly, there's not a lot of receivers that could be picked in the early 20s. If we're being totally honest with ourselves. I mean, maybe Chris Olave, he's a receiver from Ohio State. He's a speedster, but I don't think the Packers necessarily need a speedster. They need more of a physical specimen kind of guy. Maybe they could reach on Jahan Dotson, but that will probably have to be used with their second first-round pick. I'm not necessarily too comfortable with that. If I'm the Packers, here's what I do. Like I said, I'm going back to this Treylon Burks point. I'm taking Treylon Burks with the 22nd pick and just hope that nobody takes him beforehand. And with their other first-round pick, I'm trading out of that first-round pick to recoup even more picks. That's what I'm going to do if I'm the Green Bay Packers. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it.
You know what? Like I completely agree with that. Like to be honest with you, because like outside of Brooks, like there isn't like anyone that their playing style would really like fill in with Green Bay. Just because like it's like what you said, like Green Bay, they don't need any like fast players. They don't need like anyone like they don't need like that Debo Samuel type, if you get what I mean. Like they don't need like a Julian Edelman. They need someone who's actually physical, like who's gonna make those like tough grabs. Just like they need someone like obviously like not to the level of Julio Jones, but they need someone with that similar style. Because with Davante Adams, like he was like a full playmaker at wide receiver. So, and if you're not gonna find anything like that, then what's the point of just wasting a pick when it's not gonna be to that level?
Right. And I think that Treylon Burks, quite frankly, is a perfect pick for this Green Bay Packers team. Like I said, he's big, he's physical, he makes plays happen, and yards after the catch, he's really good with that. I'm not saying he's going to be Davante Adams, but he's basically the closest thing to Davante Adams in terms of size and possibly production. Maybe if Aaron Rodgers can elevate. But like you said, though, no rookie receiver, unless you're Jamar Chase, is going to single-handedly carry a franchise on his back. Plain and simple. That's just kind of how I'm looking at it. But I think Treylon Burks has to absolutely be the pick for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like in this class, there's no one nearly as talented as like a Jamar Chase. If we're keeping it 100% real. So now I actually want to ask you this: like, how far do you think Green Bay could go? Like, do you think they could get over the hump and win the Super Bowl next year, or you think it's going to be another disappointing exit?
Man, I hope that they can get to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL. But if I had to answer this question with my heart of hearts, to be honest with you, completely, I think it's going to be another season of disappointment. If we're being totally honest. But we're like so far away. I need to see how the draft goes before I could really answer too much. But on the surface, yeah, I'm going to say it's going to be another season of disappointment. I can't see how the Packers are going to get to the Super Bowl this year. But that doesn't mean that they can't not try. So they got to go ahead, try to get there. But yeah, to sum up this topic, yes, we both agree that the Green Bay Packers need to take Treylon Burks. But one thing we do disagree about is that I think that the Packers desperately need to take a receiver. You do not seem to think that the Packers need to desperately take a receiver, but that we both agree that Treylon Burks should be the pick for the Green Bay Packers. All right. Well, thanks for being on the show, man.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And make sure you follow his Instagram accounts. All right. He has two Instagram accounts. All right. The first one is at Holden_great. And his second Instagram account is at sports.analyze. So make sure you go ahead and follow his Instagram accounts as well. You guys know where to find mine. All right. Thank you for being on the show and for giving your analysis.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good one.
Yep. You too. See ya.
Peace.
That was Holden Douglas that was just giving his analysis on what the Green Bay Packers should do with their wide receiver room and what they should do with their draft picks. He and I both agree that Treylon Burks should be the pick for the Green Bay Packers in the 2022 NFL Draft, although we disagreed about the desperation of the need for the Green Bay Packers. I said that the biggest need for the Packers was wide receiver. He says that the biggest need for the Packers is special teams. Either way, though, we both agree that Treylon Burks should be the pick for them, as he seems to be the perfect fit for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers on paper. So that is why the Packers should take Treylon Burks in the 2022 NFL Draft with their first round pick. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in a future video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at DustinSTran and at Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter at DustinSTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Sports Guy Talking to get the latest from the show, Tran Talks. Go ahead and like the video. Comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my socials. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from Tran Talks on the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.